Most people celebrate cheap leads. I don't, because cheap leads don't book and sign contracts. Today, I'll show you the exact lead gen ad system that I use for service and SaaS brands to get them signed clients, not just fill forms. In 5 months, I was able to help this service brand get from 0 to 1 million in ARR with Meta Leads system.
We started from 0. Right now, after 7 months, we're in annual recurring revenue. We just crossed about 1.3 million.
And I'll break down the exact system that you can copy. The first thing you need to know is you're not booking leads, you are signing clients. That should be your North Star. Then in your video ads, you need a qualification in the first 3 seconds to get people to understand what you're trying to sell. Then you qualify the first few seconds. Then you have a high quality intent form, and then you connect your CRM with your lead system. You should block all the junk leads and bot traffic, build trust with the video, and package a tangible offer that they can't resist to. I will share my playbook with you with exact screen shares and examples and tactics that you can adapt to your niche. So guys, remember this and keep it somewhere on your wall. If you're starting a new ad account, the first 30 to 90 days will be slow. And you have to keep in mind when you're running a lead gen system, because the meta doesn't understand exactly who you're after. That's normal when the system learns. The point is to feed clean and qualified data, build trust fast, and I'll show you how I exactly did that. First, we'll flip the cheap lead to signed clients. So every decision point to the revenue. What matters are booked calls, show up rate, and signed clients. CPL is just the leading indicator, not the goal. So as you can see, you need to have an actual lead qualifier. And in order to lead qualifier, you can see these two campaigns. One campaign is set up based on website schedules, and the second is based on website registration. Website registration for this client was lead campaign, and website schedule is when they booked appointment. Initially, we started because we didn't have a data. We started running just website complete because we didn't have a lot of data. And so we needed to Meta to know these are the qualified leads. We started with that. We're still running some campaign to it. But most importantly, we are now moving towards appointment booking. So when you're running a lead gen system, you need to make sure you slowly just get some data, but then eventually move to a high quality middle of the funnel event. Most people don't understand this. Most people just run lead gen system. We for a very long time were here, but then website schedule were bringing a lot more qualified leads once you start feeding in the system. And so if you're starting lead gen, start with let's say you're not running form campaign, you have to use something like this, where you are sending them to a form on your website and they are filling out the form and then they book schedules. And it also depends on your budget and everything. Most importantly is like eventually you should move to middle of the funnel event, which is booked calls, because that's how Meta will know this is a qualified lead. This is another way to look at it. So when I'm looking at the entire system, I'm just not looking at the cost per qualified lead for a client of mine. This is an example sheet that we report on. We look at like what is the cost per qualified lead. We look at what's the cost per call booked. We looked at demo booked. Then we said demo completed, cost of those. Steal this system for your own client, and then eventually we add like how many new clients we got. And you can see that this account that had 0 to 1 million started with very low with 5, and now eventually we're getting a lot more leads. Now we have reduced the budget here, but you can see here there's a lot more. The system learned over the period of time, but our always North Star was CAC and revenue. That's what you have to tie to. Keep this in mind. If you do the fundamentals right and you're focusing on good quality leads, you will get good leads. Secondly, your hook should disqualify an audience and compel to an audience that is actually your ideal audience. Keep this in mind. I'll show you how exactly it works. So here you can see that I'm qualifying in this video in the first 3 seconds. You can see like here, I'm saying clinicians, aren't you overwhelmed with manual office work? I'm not talking about doctors, I'm talking about clinicians. I really want to go after those clinicians. And I'm talking to only those who are actually tired of manual work. So these two things are really important. Those things really matter. Here in this video, you can see, what should I do if I'm stuck with a problematic car? And then the first hook actually leads with greed because the person made money. So here we see, and in this part of the video, you can see like we are actually showing check here. And that's what we're going to go after, because people actually make money with this specific services. Your hook should qualify people who are looking for money, your people who are in the car, people who have a car business, because this first ad has a car business. So we need to show the car in it. Make sure you have a qualifier in your text overlay. Make sure you have a qualifier in your verbal hook. Make sure you have a qualifier in your visual hook. All these 3 things matter. But the most important thing is that you have to stress a little bit more on your hook. Let me explain you how. So this is really important. Hook over services. Hook over service means that you need to start with the pattern interrupt. The pattern interrupt is really important because the pattern interrupt for specifically this kind of product, we really needed to do something crazy because the market was oversaturated. And so we wanted to make sure that we get the attention of the users from the first point. And that was really important. Usually what people say is that, are you looking for X services? And or you say like, you also have the same problem, and so try our services. And that is an average hook, and if your market is saturated, it will not work. So let me give an example clearly how we try to do pattern interrupt with this video.
Believe it or not, my faulty car just got me an $80,000 paycheck.
So she was in front of the car. There was a bomb, so that get attention from the pattern interrupt. How does this car got like busted so easily? And then on top of it, we have a video overlay, and that video overlay is doing a great job teaching people differently because that's what not people normally have. Here's another video.
Listen, yes, there's something car manufacturers really don't want you to know. Here's the secret. It's California's lemon law.
In this video, we start with the hook. Listen, the car manufacturers don't want you to know. And then somebody hits the car. These are both pattern interrupt. Most lead gen services that they're trying to sell the services don't do this because they don't try to think about pattern interrupt, that they go with a simple hook. So you need to lead with promise. Here we're leading with like, you're going to get X amount of money. So how do you think about it? How do you really think about how to make the hook over services work really well? So your hook needs to be specific. You have to call out a specific audience. It needs to talk to the problem they're currently having, right? Your hook needs to have a visual that is very relatable. For example, for doctors, we need to show a doctor. For cars product, we show a car product. Your hook has to be passing trust, right? So on this video, I'm going to show you later, but this video is a high fidelity video. And for doctors, this is very attractive. And because they trust, because if a doctor is telling to other doctors, this is what they had, it's really important. Your hook needs to be in a format your audience likes to receive it. This is really important. If your audience is looking to consume content in a docu-style format, you have to run a docu-style format. This is really critical because when you're trying to think about hook, you're thinking about just calling out an audience. That's average. But calling out an audience and being in a format works like wonders. So keep this checklist as a mind when you're going next. Now I'll show you how to build a high intent form that can actually qualify an audience for you. So most importantly, you have to use a context card. You need to have a form that has a little bit friction in it. So here's a form that you can see on the left side. For us, it was important that the car was registered in California in this form. So we need to say, okay, yes and no. Then we need to know if they were like, this is an actual salespeople is asking question on the sales call as well. Is your car under warranty? Yes or no? These are a lot of questions I'm asking. Most people ask 1 or 2 questions, but the more questions you ask, the more friction you add. And the friction you add, the better it happens because they are motivated to fill out the form who actually want something from you, right? So then we had question number 5. Then we had what car problems you are having. So this is also important. The first question number 6. Then we have contact information that Meta automatically populates. And the most important thing, don't forget, either add a business email or start an SMS verification. Depends on how good quality lead you want. All I can tell you is that this SMS verification has changed the game for us. We're not going to the website anymore. We're just getting qualified lead right in the Meta, and Meta has done a great job. So lead gen, if you're running lead gen ads, SMS verification is a must-have. You will have a high cost per lead, but cost per client will go down. The 5th tip is to connect your CRM with the instant form and inform Facebook that this is a qualified lead and this is not a qualified lead. The more you manually inform through their lead center channel, you will actually be able to tell Meta that this is a good and bad quality lead. And what I've seen is since I've connected my HubSpot form, all I can tell you is that I'm getting better quality leads. This is something that most people are not doing. They're still running standard conversion pixel, but now there's a thing called CRM CAPI, and you connect with HubSpot and you pass all the data. HubSpot gives data back to Meta and the quality of leads improve. So to connect this is a very simple thing, but most advertisers don't know about it. So you should definitely give it a try and make sure that your lead gen system is solid. You manually do it by telling Meta that, hey, disqualify this lead, it's not a good lead. And you also tell through your system as well because they see all the journeys of the lead that they have sent. What do you need to do? Connect your CRM with lead sync. So the CRM gets the data and CRM passes the data back. Send the quality back to the funnel. Choose the goal. Maximize the number of conversion leads. So that's really important in your ad setting. Build a sales funnel that Meta can understand. So in this section, I'll walk you through simple ways to block bots and low intent clicks that's killing volume. Okay, this is a really important point. Kill the bot. So what I've seen is that most of the advice we get is like, run ads Broadway. The traffic should be sending all the way to all placement. For lead gen, for the first 2 months, we had a problem was we were getting a lot of bot traffic And bot traffic was coming from placement that we didn't want. For example, they have this audience network. Audience network was sending all the bot traffic. So what we did is we removed audience network and we removed other platforms like Thread and everything. So here you can see we only added Facebook and Instagram, and so 4 placements were excluded. So you have to exclude the traffic to get quality data back to you. You should do this so that you're not getting bot traffic. And we usually saw that as soon as we removed this, we got a better quality lead. It was costs were higher, but the quality lead was great. In Meta, quality beats quantity. So focus on high quality leads, not quantity. How do you block bots, right? You add SMS verification, you add business verification, you remove placement, you use lookalike, you should upload a customer list. All of these things help you reduce kill bots, and most importantly, the placement that I shared. So assuming that you've done everything, but the most important thing is building trust. In the next section, I'll show you how to build trust. Well, people buy from people. Put a human in the frame. So here's my checklist to make sure you build trust fast. The number one thing you have to do is that most people don't do is put some organic content already in your Instagram. Checklist number 1. If you don't have content on your Instagram and Facebook, people don't trust you. The number 2 is make video ads. Image ads are fine. Video ads are great. So if you have video ads, then people trust that content more because you see a person, you spend more time, you're more engaged. The third thing is, what I figured out finally is that after run so many formats and figure out what format works for you. My checklist is that you create a format that is high trustworthy. So maybe make good quality videos and focus on format that actually people like to consume content for, right? You need to have a text overlay, right? So in the text overlay, you should write who you're targeting in your audience. You should build a native content. So it should look very organic, should not look like an ad. And you should focus on one clear outcome. If you have a one clear outcome that people understand, one big idea, that everybody understands what your services are going to do, make sure that everybody gets this. And for this one, here's an example. So this used to be one of our old clients' old ads that we did not run, but that's how they used to promote the ad. So hire a full-time virtual sales assistant. And then this used to be like their ad. And you can see like how it looks like. It seems like for $10 an hour, they're trying to qualify a cheap lead. And the woman is AI based, so like did not build trust. And this is what we did for the same client for different services. And what we did was we went high fidelity, good quality content, podcast style format, and we focus on one clear outcome. Here, you can.
$180,000 in receivables that were over 90 days old. They were just sitting there because we couldn't keep up with follow-ups and resubmissions.
So how did you find the solution?
Another practice owner in my medical association recommended staffing for doctors. He had hired 2 VAs from them, and
so that just to show you, like, this is a high fidelity format. People trust it. It's a content that people usually lean into because we are all aware of interview formats, and it has like, oh, you figured out a 6-figure problem that you wanted to solve, right? And you see that there's a doctor there, the camera, lighting, everything is amazing. That's what you have to do when you're running lead gen to make people trust you, especially when you're running for somebody like a medical professional. It's really important for them to trust a high fidelity content, not an average content. And that's my key thing to remember. Make videos and make good videos with good formats. This is all good, but in the next section, I will tell you how to get a tangible offer that make people book a call and also buy from you immediately. Don't sell a call, sell what they get on a call. The most important thing is name your method in the call. Sell an experience and tell them that if they get on a call, here's what they will get, right? In this ad, you can see how they package the entire content into what they will get if they start these services, which is get 30 ads for $300, which is like a great offer. And it's usually $1,000, but it's $300 for them, for if you get to start this package now. So this is what you have to do. You have to find an offer. For my other clients, what we were doing, we were giving them, they said, the first 4 weeks of this services is on us, we'll pay for you. And that was an offer that we gave. So you have to create an offer that's tangible for them to understand, that feels like a grab, a really good opportunity to get it right now. And you need to add urgency. If you could do it now, then that's what you'll get. So make sure you name the process, you give an offer that is tangible, you add urgency by certain dates, or if you get this, like, I think urgency, you have to make it in a way that this is a really good offer. Tied to the timing, like for example, we are running this promo until like end of the quarter, get it right now, something like that. The next thing that you need to know is when you're running lead gen ad, the first miles are uphill. Stick with clean signals. Expect a slow ramp up, 30 to 90 days. Lead gen ads take a while. Reality check. New accounts need signal And so they take time to actually get that. They don't have previous data. Number two, consolidate the spend. Don't try to run too many campaigns. Just run lead gen campaigns. If something feels off, don't run it. Lead gen campaigns are really important for you to like, don't be too much clickbaity. You need to really talk to people. The most important thing is don't get your ad rejected. So here's a screen share for you. Make sure in the first 30 to 90 days, don't get any ad rejected. That's my biggest learning, and give it a little more time. Okay, let's get to the next tip. Test and scale rules. Number one is obsess over qualification. Once you found a qualification that works, try to make it better. Don't try to settle on that. Try to figure out if you can further lean into a specific and go to one level deep. Find these 5 things fast: hook, audience, angle, format, offer. If you figure this out and if you obsess over it, it will work. Always confirm with your sales team if the lead quality is good or not. You can actually go into the CRM and see the source and the actual ad if that source is actually bringing you good leads. Most people ignore that. You have to talk to sales team every day to make sure they're getting good quality leads. Scale 20% each day. So don't try to scale too fast because it can break the learning pattern and you want to stay on top of that. Make sure that when you send a lead, this is also like I've seen with a lot of lead gen clients, they get a good cost per lead, but the cost per appointment is too high. And they think it's because like the ad is not working really well. It overall, once somebody gives the information, it takes them 1 or 2 or 3 days to book a call. And it takes roughly 14 to 30 days to actually sign a contract. So keep that lead time in mind. As long as lead is qualified and you have agreed with the qualification lead, then don't mess with it. Make sure that you give it enough time. And when you know which offer is working, which format is working, which image is working, which content is working, you just have to double down. So for me, this client, I know that doctor selling to other doctors working. I'm just going to double down on that. These are my bonus tips. The number one thing you have to figure out is that once you have ads running, you're getting good quality leads, you're getting account clients. As soon as you have an ad running, you should start running different type of ads, testimonial ads, how it works ad. If there's a sales team, make sales team ads and tell them you're going to book a call with them. Running retargeting ads is really important because people, first time they ignore it, second time they don't, and they have to have more than 7 touch points actually to book a call with you. Do remember that. So run retargeting ads. Most people don't do it because they think Meta is sending same ads, but you have to show different ads to the same person who's actually a qualified lead. Second thing is work email validation in B2B. So in B2B, I've seen is like when you get a work email validation, that works wonders because then you also remove all the bad leads that are coming to you. For us, SMS verification work, but you should definitely give it a try. And the third thing is that most people are selling their services as if they're selling just a service and there's no emotion attached to it. At the end, you're either making somebody feel good or great about having your offer, and maybe you're making them feel bad or you're relating with them with their problem. You have to always think about emotion, and so don't think about features, think about what emotions you're going to give them. Even if a product manager is buying a service from you, he actually wants to make his life easier and hit some emotional strings as well. I will make my next videos on emotions. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and I'll show you exactly how to use emotions, even in B2B or lead gen services, to actually make somebody take an action, book a call with you. So now you got a system for signed clients. Qualify hard in 3 seconds. Make sure you build trust fast. Make sure you have a high intent lead form and you are asking a lot of questions and having friction, making sure that you know what angle, audience, format, offer works. Doing all of this feels like a lot, and you want a specialist like me who's actually doing this work for you, not just as a media buyer, as also creative strategist, who's actually resonating with your audience and bringing your cost per lead and cost per appointment, cost per client acquisition sign down. You can book a call with me. There'll be a link in the description and there will be a QR code here on the right side where you can actually scan it and book a call with me. I love lead gen systems because this is something that most people have not figured it out. And I have, as I said, I have a playbook that I immediately run. So it will take very less time for you to get up and running and find success. And if you're just learning from this video, how about you just subscribe and click on that bell button to get notified when I'm sharing another lead gen content about my experiments, what I learned. And if you found all of this helpful and you have questions, drop in the comments below. I'm happy to answer the questions so that like everybody in the community can take advantage from it.